Hello, it is my pleasure to kick off our Top 25 presentation for the class of 2020. While we wish we were together celebrating the accomplishments of our students, we are still very excited to introduce and honor these extraordinary students and their honored educators. Our program began over 20 years ago and has grown to be an accomplishment that many strive to achieve. Our students are exceptional, and our honored educators are a blessing to our learning community. I'd like to thank Sarah Auto Group for their years of continued support of our program. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Kim Hastings for putting together our program every year, and a special thanks to Mr. Bridenthal for putting together our presentation today. To our top 25 students, I know there have been many disappointments in the past few weeks. Your class has always been very special to us, and your resilience has long been admired. We continue to be so very proud of you, and we wish you the very best. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Our next student in the top 25 is Shea Simmer. Shea plans to attend Walsh University to study mechanical engineering and also play baseball. He hopes to eventually obtain his master's in mechanical engineering. Shea's baseball bat is his item of importance. Shea says that the sport itself has brought him a lot of joy, but it has also brought him closer to his father and grandfather. Shea is a wonderful athlete who has been a joy to watch over the years. I remember coaching against Shea when he was in middle school and I was at my previous school. It's not often that an opposing player sticks out as much as he did at that level for his toughness and leadership. These attributes that I witnessed when he was in middle school have helped Shea transpire into a confident leader on the court and field throughout his high school athletic career, but also as a student of Green High School. I believe that Shea's maturity is evident just by watching him interact with his peers and school personnel in the halls of Green High School. Shea received letters in both baseball and basketball all 4 years. He listed winning the first district title in basketball in school history as his most memorable moment. I would agree that this was not only a memorable run for him and the rest of the team, but for the whole school community. Shea has also racked up a multitude of Scholar Athlete Awards and Academy of Scholar Awards. Outside of athletics, Shea also finds time to participate in Key Club, previously participated in Developing Leaders of Tomorrow, and has volunteered his time working for multiple organizations and nonprofits. Shea attributes his motivation and success to his parents and his grandparents. Congratulations, Shea.
Hello everyone. There have been many educators that have played an important role in my life so far, but when I thought of someone who was always there to talk about life and give me advice, I couldn't think of anyone other than Mr. Bridenthal. I, just like every other student at GHS, see Mr. Bridenthal in the office, in the hallway, or sometimes even in our classrooms, and he always has something to say. The best thing about talking to him is the fact that his personality is always switching from sincere and wholesome to sarcastic. For example, I could walk up to him and he could say, "Why were you giving Mr. Christopher a hard time in class today?" Then I would just look at him confused and say, "That never happened." But he would go back to being dead serious and reply to me saying, "Yes, you did. Does it look like I'm kidding?" Immediately following that, he would start talking to me and asking me how my day has been going on, like that interaction never even happened. This is just one of the main reasons I could talk to Mr. Bridenthal all day. On top of conversing with him at school on a daily basis, I see him at basketball for 2 hours every day. At basketball, I could be having a bad practice, but he'll always come over to me and say positive things to me, or just say something funny, which will both change my mood to a positive one. I couldn't ask for a better staff member or educator in general, because he truly cares about my feelings and how my day is going. Next year, when I go off to college, I'm going to miss many of my educators, but I'm really going to miss Mr. Bridenthal.
Our next top 25 student is often seen in our performing arts hallway. A member of our ensemble, drama 2 class, and select choir, our student played the lead of Sarah Brown in this year's musical Guys and Dolls. Her high school honors include Academy of Scholars, a third-place finish in Laws of Life, and superior ratings at the OMEA's solo and ensemble contest. Her item of importance is a video of herself that reminds her of just how far she and her family have come. When asked why she believes that she is successful in school, she states, "Because I know what I am capable of, and I don't like to settle for less." This confidence and work ethic will serve her well as she plans to become a successful CEO and eventually own her own financial advising firm. Her first stop after high school on her road to becoming a CEO will be at Columbia College in Chicago. Let's congratulate Ms. Lauren McElrath on achieving her top 25 honor.
Dear Miss Honkala, when I received this reward, there was no doubt in my mind of who I wanted to choose as my honored educator. When I first transferred to this high school, you were the first person who met me halfway. You understood that I would have much adjusting to do, and you were patient with me while I did it. You are always meeting people halfway and attempting to see the world through a kaleidoscope composed of many perspectives and many viewpoints. It is a difficult thing for anyone to do. However, I have seen you conquer it with both ease and grace. I promise your acceptance of others for who they are does not go unnoticed. I believe your courage and persistence to advocate for change whenever you see injustice in this world, whether it be an issue seen in the classroom or about a hot topic in the news, is both admirable and inspiring. Many strive to have even an ounce of that bold passion. For that, I simply want to thank you for not being only a teacher, but a dear mentor to me.
The Science Club gong is the item of importance of our next student. This gong gets rung at the beginning of each Science Club meeting and will get passed on to future classes. Our honoree and his friends have been extremely involved in the Science Club and have entered and won several STEM competitions. This gong represents the bond between friends and all of their accomplishments. During his academic career at GHS, the student has earned a seal of biliteracy, been honored as Student of the Month, and earned letters in academics 3 years, band 2 years, football 1 year, and wrestling 1 year. He is also the captain of the wrestling team, secretary of both the Science Club and Key Club, participates on the track team and in National Honor Society. Outside of school, he is a team leader at the Queen of Heaven's youth group. To relax, our honoree enjoys hanging out with the boys, engaging in general shenanigans and tomfoolery, skiing, billiards, and going out with his girlfriend. After graduation, he will be attending the University of Notre Dame with a possible major in engineering or business. His future goals are to be successful in whatever career he pursues. He would also like to own some land and have a family. Congratulations and good luck to Lucien Kallai.
Good morning, everyone. If you're seeing this in the morning, if not, good night, good afternoon. My name is Lucien Kallai. You probably already know that. I decided to wear my purple today, the whole suit and everything. It would have been nice at the actual event, but here we are instead. My honored educator, of course, is Mr. Finucane, and I'm going to read the speech I wrote for you. I had Mr. Finucane in the 10th grade for language arts, and it was a fun time. We read more literature that year than in any other year of my high school career. Finucane warming me up to not hating books anymore, or introducing me to one of my favorites, which is Of Mice and Men, isn't the only reason I wanted him along today. I remember one of my favorite memories, writing all over his whiteboard in the back of the room. I started this thing called the Communist Country of the Week, and that sort of expanded and grew, and then I had a hand in starting something we did called the Exotic Animal of the Month. And the greatest part of that was in May. May Madness, we called it. And we put a lot of different animals and some people in a bracket. And we had the people in the class vote for which one they wanted to keep and which one they wanted to go. And the winner, of course, would become Exotic Animal of the Year. Mr. Finucane was all on board with that, and he made it better than it could have been. That was really nice. And he also put up a picture that I made for him on the wall, which meant a lot to me. Years after I had him in class, he would let me camp in his classroom sometimes during my free periods, which I also appreciated a lot. And I always felt very welcomed in his classroom. So I've always looked up to him, not only as a good teacher, but a great person. Thank you.
It's safe to say that I was pretty impressed with Andrew Dornack from the first time that I met him during the summer before his freshman year. At the time, I'd been coaching high school basketball for 12 years, and I had never met a young man who paid as much attention to what was going on, what he was doing, and what I had to say. His attention to detail and work ethic was exemplary, and every time I talked to him, I felt like I was talking to a peer rather than a student. It's my honor to be able to introduce Andrew tonight as he joins the top 25 for the class of 2020. Andrew's accomplishments are also exemplary. He balances a heavy course load with AAU basketball and his job at Mayfair Country Club. He's a member of the Key Club and the Science Club, participates in the Rube Goldberg and Summit County Engineers bridge building contests, and participated in the basketball and golf programs at Green for 3 seasons. As a student, he has earned the Seal of Biliteracy, is a member of the Academic Wall of Fame, and will earn the Distinguished Scholar Award and an Honors Diploma, and has earned the highest merit scholarship from The Ohio State University, the Maximus Scholarship. Andrew says that his attentiveness and ability to engage during class time helped him earn the success that he's accomplished. Andrew's item of importance is his grandfather's Super Bowl ring. He cites it as a reminder of the many great times they had together, whether golfing or going to an NFL or NBA game. The ring hangs in his room as a constant reminder of the bond they share. As mentioned, Andrew will join Buckeye Nation in the fall, where he will study engineering with the goal of having a lasting impact on the world. He says, "I wish to become a successful engineer that helps our world become a better place, as well as growing a loving family of my own." I have little doubt that he'll be successful in both of those ventures. I'm proud to present to you tonight, Mr. Andrew Dornack.
Throughout my 3 years of knowing Mrs. Garetano and having her as a teacher, she has been nothing but a great mentor. As my teacher in both Spanish 3 and AP Spanish, she always pushed me to become my absolute best in both the language and as a person. She constantly provided me feedback on how I could improve in expressing myself in the language and always strived to help everyone learn something new every day. Although at times the curriculum in AP Spanish required a great amount of work, it all paid off in the end. It was very stressful at times, and if you took AP Spanish, I know you remember the Temas-Dos test. But in the end, it all paid off and made me much better in Spanish, and most importantly, it taught me how to manage large and difficult workloads, which is very important for a field in engineering in which I want to go in. But in all, I will forever be grateful for how much Miss Garetano pushed me and inspired me, and I will never forget the lessons she taught me.
Next student in our top 25 is Madeline Capps. Madeline hopes to attend either The Ohio State University or Kent State University and eventually become a successful architect. Madeline, like many others here, is well-rounded. She has played basketball for 4 years and volleyball for 3. She has earned multiple letters and Scholar Athlete Awards in both of these sports. She also volunteers at the Pride Through Empowerment Foundation. Madeline is also an artist. She received the Gold Key at the Scholastic Art Awards in 2019, and her work was chosen to be a part of the art collection displayed at Akron Children's Hospital. Madeline says she holds herself to high standards, and I would say that that is evident. Madeline enjoys hanging out with her friends and family, and her funny times with friends have contributed to her most memorable moments of her high school experience. Of course, her friendships would not be complete without her dog Molly, which was the inspiration for Madeline's item of importance. Congratulations, Madeline.
Although I haven't had Mr. Juicy as a teacher until this year, he has helped me grow both with art and as a person. With every project, I always had to push and try to do a little bit extra, so I got behind quickly, but Mr. Juicy was always there to encourage me. Whenever I would try to get out of doing a project just because I didn't want to make another slab or pinch pot, he was always there to assure me that I was perfectly capable of doing so and that I would probably regret it in the long run if I didn't do to the best of my abilities. He has helped me so much with every project with just bringing it to another level, even if it was just adding a little bit more texture or a bit of shading, especially with the iguana that I made. Looking back, it seems a little weird that my dad and Mr. Juicy went to high school together, but that didn't seem to play a factor in his teaching. Along with that, I would always try to keep him updated on any new pinball machines that my dad got, which always seemed to spark conversation. Throughout this semester, Mr. Juicy has helped me make a lot of art, and that has really helped my creativity grow even more.
Grace Beans will be attending the University of Akron and is pursuing a pre-med degree with the goal of becoming a pediatrician. Grace says she has always been consumed by the impending thought of her future that has motivated her to work hard and put herself in the best possible position to leave high school. This has worked out well for her as she is now graduating in the top 25 of her class and has earned a place in the Academy of Scholars. I've had Grace in 2 different courses, and I enjoyed how she would not be content if there was a concept that she did not understand to the full extent. Point shoes is what Grace has chosen for her item of importance. At the age of 3, she began dancing, and she says being a dancer has been a prominent aspect of her identity. She has lettered on the high school dance team, has volunteered as an assistant for toddler dance classes, and is even a company member of the Soul Inspired Dance Complex. Her best memories in high school are from her senior year dance team, and she has used dance as an outlet to deal with the stresses of life and has created long-lasting friendships and relationships through dancing. Grace has also played lacrosse and enjoys painting. I have been impressed with Grace, and I would personally like to say congratulations on your top 25 honor.
I had Mr. Thomas for anatomy in 11th grade. Although science has always been my favorite subject, anatomy was definitely the most memorable. Prior to taking anatomy, I was very unsure of what I wanted to do with my life after graduating high school. However, after taking this class, I knew I wanted to go into the medical field. Mr. Thomas helped me reach this conclusion through the numerous exploratory projects he assigned. Of these many projects, the most influential to me was definitely the surgery project. In this project, we were assigned to research a specific surgery and interview and shadow a medical professional. This helped me gain first-hand experience in a medical setting and explore this career path. Because of Mr. Thomas's anatomy class, I've decided to major in biology on the pre-med track at the University of Akron to hopefully pursue a career in the medical field one day. So thank you, Mr. Thomas, for helping me realize what I want to be when I grow up.
Our next student is a special and talented young woman. She has lettered in academics for 3 years, earned an honorable mention in the 2018 PTA Reflections Art Contest, and an honorable mention in the 2019 Laws of Life Essay Contest. She is also involved in the Green High School Science Club and French Club. Outside of school, she is a competitive dancer at the dance movement. Her favorite thing to do to relax and have fun is to spend time with her friends. Many times this ends in a Swenson's run. Her most memorable high school experiences all involve lifelong friends she has made at GHS. They have spent time at football games, basketball games, and at sleepovers. She will never forget the times she has spent with her best friends. After graduation, our honoree plans on attending the University of Akron to pursue a degree in biochemistry. Her future plans include getting a master's degree and becoming a physician's assistant. She will eventually like to work in a psychology department of a children's hospital. She has chosen her first pair of ballet shoes as her item of importance. Dancing has been such an impactful part of her life throughout the years. It has taught her discipline, memory skills, self-confidence, and how to work on a team. She feels that she wouldn't be the same person she is today without dancing in her life, so those shoes represent how she grew up. Congratulations and good luck to Gwen Miller.
Hello everyone, I'm Gwen Miller, and today I'm going to be talking about my honored educator, Mr. Gustafson. A modern high school student deals with the stress of achievement and inclusion throughout their 4 years, both of which had always hit me particularly hard. However, there are 2 ingredients that always ease my worries: a good laugh and a judgment-free zone. Mr. G provided both for his students each day I had him in class. No matter how worried I was for a test the next period, Mr. G always made me feel a little better with his jokes throughout class or with his Beyonce comments. Another thing Mr. G was always sure of was making his classroom a family. This environment was very uplifting, especially in a French class when I had no idea how to pronounce anything. Earlier this year, I interviewed Mr. G for an essay I was writing about careers. His answers moved me as his care for his students was clearly highlighted. He said, "My favorite part of the job is interacting with the kids and sharing with them what I am passionate about. Knowing that my teacher has an enthusiasm for what he or she is doing has always significantly aided my learning, and Mr. G was always one of those teachers." So thank you, Mr. G, for being a teacher that lifted my spirits and offered a safe environment. Thank you for caring about your students. Or, as we said in class, merci beaucoup.
Our next honored student is Ms. Alyssia Carmichael. Alyssia is very involved with varsity softball, student council, and National Honor Society. She has earned many awards and recognitions during her high school endeavors. Softball team captain, scholar athlete, Bulldog Strong award recipient, and National Merit Scholar. Softball leads in her most memorable high school events, especially the time that the umps were late and the team danced and sang together until they arrived. It is no surprise that Alyssia has chosen a piece of softball equipment as her items of importance. She has chosen her glove because softball is where she learned how to work hard and practice to become good at something. The sport has reinforced lessons that will stick with her for the rest of her life. As for her future, Alyssia would like to graduate from college, either go to medical school or nurse practitioner school, work at the Cleveland Clinic, and have children of her own. Alyssia will be attending John Carroll University next year, planning to study biology. Congratulations, Alyssia.
First, I'd like to thank my parents for everything they do for me. Next, I'd like to thank Craig Eoff for the role he's played in my life and education. I've played softball for Craig since I was 10 years old. We spent every summer together since then, so naturally I've learned many lessons from this man, whether it be about school, softball, or just rules of life in general. One of my favorite lessons, and definitely the one Coach Craig implemented the most, was the idea of being a student athlete. He explained that student is the key term in that phrase. Student comes first because being a student will always be more important than being an athlete. He told us we'll be students our whole lives in one way or another, while we'll only be athletes for a short period of time. At least once a year we got this speech, and Craig constantly asked us how our grades were and how school was going. Because of this, and because of our group of incredibly bright girls, our team GPA always remained around a 4.0. We can definitely give some credit for our scholastic success to Craig for always keeping our priorities straight and reminding us of what's really important. Thank you, buddy, for all the lessons, laughs, and for always being there anytime I needed a big Coach Craig hug. You've helped shape who I am today.
Our next inductee, like so many of his peers, is a very busy young man. He currently works at Town Park Chiropractors and Skyway, balancing both jobs with participation on the football team, where he was a captain, hiking, hanging out with friends, and watching movies and sports. It's pretty obvious he's also a very accomplished student. He takes pride in getting a 30 on the ACT and taking his place among the many members of the GHS Wall of Fame. When it comes to school, he says that he has a drive to be the best that he can be, and that he wants to reach his potential, knowing that good things will come if he pushes himself academically. He cites his parents as being very supportive and encouraging, pushing him to always do his very best. This very driven young man is Garret Chiofola. Garrett's item of importance tonight is his football team dog tag. He says that all the seniors receive one, and that it bonds him forever to his teammates and symbolizes everything that he learned from playing the game. His favorite high school experience was when he had to inform Coach Geis that he would not be able to play because of a back injury. While it crushed him, he cites his relationship with Coach Geis and the conversations they had about football and life as experiences that he will never forget. The next stop in Garrett's journey will be nearby at the University of Akron, where he plans to study exercise science. He hopes to become a physical therapist and graduate from UA with a 3.5 GPA or higher. It's my honor to present to you Mr. Garret Chiofola.
The game of football has been one of the most important things in my life. For the entirety of my life, I have eaten, breathed, and lived for football. I can't imagine how different my life would be if I had not played this game. I would have different friends, different interests, and definitely would not be the same person that I am today. Football has taught me a lot about life, how to win, how to lose, and how to trust people and be reliable for others. It taught me how to work hard, how to deal with pain, but most importantly, football taught me how to be a part of something greater than myself. Football has also led to me meeting some amazing people that I can't imagine not being a part of my life. My senior year of football was set to be an interesting one from the beginning. We were losing the senior class from the year before, getting an entire new coaching staff, and my senior class was expected to lead us into no matter what. Going into the senior commons on that first day to meet Coach Geis was nerve-wracking. What kind of coach was he? Would he be too hard? Too soft? Was he going to try to change everything that I knew to be football? That day, December 19th, 2018, was when my last year of football really began, and the incredible ride that was the entire season to follow is owed all to my coach. He pushed me harder than I have ever been pushed before. He challenged me, not just to be a better football player, but a better student, a better leader, and nonetheless, a better man. I learned a lot about myself and my teammates because of his dedication to us. He spent hours with us every day, in the mornings, the afternoons, and even late at night. Valuable hours that many fathers with 2 young kids and a wife would not be willing to sacrifice for others. But he did it for us, for me, and for that, I'll be forever grateful to Coach Geis.
I was watching a GHS varsity baseball game 4 years ago at Highland High School, and in comes, let's say, a little man to be a catcher. You could tell the poor little guy was filled with enthusiasm, accompanied with anxiety. I recall the first warm-up pitch going between his legs and hitting the backstop. As the game progressed, you could tell that the freshman was a fighter and was going to prove he belonged. By the end of the game, I wasn't sure the freshman was quite ready yet for the varsity catcher role. But you could say that you were impressed with his hustle, fearlessness, and can-do spirit he exemplified throughout the game. I asked someone who he said he was, and it says Nick Weber. 2 years later, I met Nick as a student in class, and I will say the young man had grown up and still had the same hustle, fearlessness, and can-do spirit he showed his freshman year. Nick plans to attend Kent State and major in computer science. In high school, he is a 2-year letter winner in baseball and been a member of the Key Club, Science Club, and National Honor Society. As a member of the Science Club, he was the face of the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition that worked towards tackling the vaping epidemic in schools. He was also part of the team that won the Best Engineering Design for the Akron Gravity Racing Challenge, and a team member on the winning Rube Goldberg machine at the University of Akron. Nick says before he starts a family, he would like to travel to Europe and, if at all possible, visit all 30 MLB stadiums. Nick's one flaw is his love of all Pittsburgh teams. Nick feels that his success in school is due to the diligence he takes in all things. Whether they are assignments, sports, or anything, Nick puts his best foot forward, or otherwise he states that it weighs heavily on his mind. I can vouch for his diligence in class. He is very thorough with his work and is always prepared. I have nothing but respect for Nick and how he is driven to succeed through diligence. Nick picked a catcher's mask as his item of importance. The position of catcher forced him to find his voice and make critical decisions quickly on the field. It also helped him develop leadership characteristics that he has used on and off the field. His favorite high school memory was an unexpected pizza stop on the way home from a baseball game. This allowed him to do the one thing that he really likes to do to relax, and that is to hang out with friends. It has been a pleasure having Nick as a student and watching him grow up to be a young man. I am sure the same hustle, diligence, and can-do spirit that I have seen in the past will help Nick do well in all that he moves on to after high school. Congratulations, Nick, on your Top 25 award. You have definitely earned it.
My honored educator is Mr. Edwards, who I've had for history 2 years now. I had him my sophomore year for AP World History, and I have him currently for AP European History. What's made him one of my favorite teachers over the years is he's one of the most kind-hearted people that I've ever met. I'm sure that my peers who've had him as well can attest to this. He's also interested in what we have going on outside of his classroom. He's always down to talk about sports or other classes or clubs or whatever we have going on outside of school. He also tries to connect to his students in other ways. For instance, every so often he'll use a slang term that we taught him as a way to make us laugh and help us focus on the material he's teaching. Overall, Mr. Edwards has created an enjoyable classroom environment that makes me look forward to his class every day. Well, except for days when we have in-class essays on the French Revolution. Even so, Mr. Edwards is an excellent role model and a great teacher, which is why I chose him as my honored educator.
Our next honoree is Sarah Leemaster. Sarah's item of importance is a soccer ball. She says that it represents the sport that has taught her so many life lessons about teamwork and discipline and determination and tenacity, and I would have to agree because we can all see these traits in Sarah today. But in reading over the information Sarah submitted for being a member of the Top 25, I'm not sure how she finds the time to play soccer, or nap for that matter, which she listed as one of her favorite activities. She's involved in numerous school activities: Key Club, Girls of Green, Spanish Club, and the National Honor Society. She attends the chapel and volunteers for functions there. She also volunteers for Goal, coached a youth soccer team, and helps out with Vacation Bible Week in Hudson. Add to that the time she devotes to schoolwork to be as successful as she has been, and you start to wonder when she naps, or even sleeps for that matter. This Best Witness winner in the 2020 mock trial competition is motivated to try her best at everything she does, and does it all with a perpetual smile. Perpetual. Sarah says that the most memorable parts of her high school career are the people and staff that she has met. She goes on to say that her senior year has also been unforgettable because of all the memories she made this year, and this information was submitted in late February. I bet there could be a new chapter on senior year. We all wish Sarah the best as she moves on to college and pursues a degree in medicine, possibly biochemistry. The lessons of soccer will carry her far.
I will never forget the time I was convinced to coach second and third graders last year. Little did I know, when the kids became comfortable, they would tell me that they farted, and well, it wasn't just a fart. Luckily, I was able to redirect him to Coach Dan. After 4 years of high school, I've learned a lot. Entering the school as a timid freshman, if someone told me I would end up where I am today, I would not believe them. One thing has always been consistent throughout my high school career, and that's soccer. I have played high school soccer all 4 years, and soccer since I was 5 years old. Coach Harlan had a tremendous effect on both my soccer ability and my life. After my sophomore soccer season, I had an urge to quit the sport. Despite playing since I was 5 years old, it was not enjoyable for me at all anymore. Little did I know, my junior year of high school soccer would change my perspective completely because of Mr. Harlan. At this point, I began to fall back in love with the sport and everything it had taught me. Coach Harlan was able to remind me of these things. Not only did I look up to him as a coach, but also as a life mentor. Fast forward to my senior year of soccer, the most memorable season. Not only because I discovered I was, blind, but also because we had an amazing season. We went 14-3-1 and now share a record with another girls' team at the high school. Although the team had natural talent, Coach kept us in check and always ensured that we were off our high horses. The past 2 years, I've spent a lot of my free time in his room during the season and during the off-season. Each time I come with a question, he's more than willing to help. His door is always open, and many people from the team know that. From conversations to what to watch on Netflix to life-changing decisions like college, Harlan never hesitates to try and help. Because of this, he is someone I truly look up to and will never forget. Not only has he made my soccer experience enjoyable, but he made my overall high school experience unforgettable. I always look forward to eating lunch in Harlan's room and making ramen in the kitchen at least once a week, and making fun of him for his newly acquired limp. His peg leg and my eye patch make us pirates. As a sometimes dumb teenager, his guidance has helped me keep my priorities straight all throughout high school. Therefore, I cannot thank Mr. Harlan or Green High School enough for the countless opportunities, memories, and lessons that will follow me throughout my lifetime.
A 3-year letter winner in golf, Brittuey spent the last 4 years on a golf team that she describes as family. It's not surprising that a golf course would be described as links. This is where some of her greatest memories and inseparable friendships were formed. In addition to her 3 golf letters, her other honors include the Spanish Seal of Biliteracy, and she will soon be added to the Academic Wall of Fame. Brittuey's future plans include attending the Williams Honors College, majoring in biomedical sciences at the University of Akron, and then on to Northeast Ohio College of Medicine, where she plans to specialize in dermatology. Many thanks go to her 2 wonderful parents who are responsible for her motivation and success. She attributes her drive to succeed on the fact that her parents motivate her to become the best person she could be. This has allowed her to remain focused and driven in every aspect of her life. In the same way that drive gets her to the Stark County Humane Society to walk and care for dogs, that same drive got her to Science Club, Spanish Club, Girls of Green, Key Club, and most importantly, the National Honor Society. In her free time that's left after all those activities, Brittuey enjoys painting. Yep, that's all it says here, painting. Okay. She also mentioned she enjoys working out at the gym, attending GHS sporting events, and hanging out with my friends. That seems a little odd. I'm sure she meant hang out with her friends. It has been my pleasure to introduce GHS Class of 2020 Top 25 inductee, Brittuey Moore.
Beginning high school as a naive freshman 4 long years ago, I found myself in Mr. Thacker's American History classroom. Everything seemed normal until going to the bathroom required being accompanied by one of the sisters, Wendy or Wanda. These hall passes happened to be 2 shaved mannequin heads. I learned very quickly that these hall passes would not be the strangest thing I encountered in his classroom. At the time, I had no idea how much this wacky teacher could influence me not only as a student, but as a person in general. Flash forward to my junior year. I now found myself in Thacker's psychology class. The only thing that changed was the hall pass. Instead of a shaved mannequin head, it was now a 6-foot artificial tree. Because of the fun times, humor, and jokes like this, Thacker's class was one of my greatest experiences in my high school career. Even though his class was a time to have fun, his curriculum was serious, and he taught in a way in which I could relate. I will always remember and appreciate the honesty and kindness of Mr. Thacker. Anytime I needed personal advice or just a good laugh, Mr. Thacker was the only teacher to come to mind. I can never thank him enough for the positive impact he has left on me. I hope one day I can pay this forward by making this great of an impact on someone else. Some would say that success is measured by what you know, but I have found through my experience it is much more about who I know and who has supported me in my journey. I'm going to miss having him as a teacher, but I truly feel blessed to have learned from and known Mr. Thacker. Thank you for being my honored educator today and always.
Our next honoree has chosen these note cards as his item of importance. These note cards each have a positive message written on them from other students. These messages were written back in middle school, but our honoree has kept them with him throughout the years. He says they represent kindness, a kindness that he must nurture and grow in any which way he can. Throughout his high school career, the student has been extremely busy. While maintaining exemplary grades in his upper level classes, our honoree has been active in band, the GHS Science Club, National Honor Society, and the Akron Physics Club. He was a flute squad leader from grades 10 through 12 and was the GHS band president throughout his senior year. In the Science Club, he has participated in and won STEM and design competitions. Outside of school, he enjoys hiking, photography, and reading. He also likes to watch YouTube and simply relax. After graduation, this student will most likely be attending the University of Akron or the Ohio State University. He intends on majoring in electrical engineering or computer science with a possible goal of working on aerospace control systems. Whatever happens in college, he wants to leave with a degree in a field that makes him happy. Congratulations and good luck to this talented young man, Dmitry Melnikov.
Back in middle school, I had a friend, and for as long as I knew him, he wanted to become a filmmaker. Granted, he also wanted to be a stand-up scientist, and this fall he'll be studying particle physics, but that's another story. The point remains, however, that going into my freshman year, I still had one elective slot open. I ended up spending an entire afternoon poring over my remaining choices, thinking, I like space cosmetology, sounds nice. But then I stumbled on video editing, and wondering what all the rage was about, signed up without a second thought. When it finally came to video editing, however, it wasn't too difficult. Surprisingly, it wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it would be. Hell, up until then, my experiences with it were limited to either skits with stand-up scientist friend or Lego animations. Neither went well. But video editing did. After all, Mr. Mark Warble didn't just give us the technical know-how or rules of thumb or help with that one tool in Adobe, he gave us the creative freedom to explore further than we could anywhere else. See, all too often we see assignments and projects limited in scale and scope, and there's a point to that limitation, however. When teaching a particular methodology or concept, it's often best to limit focus to that concept before examining it in a larger scope. But with media creation, applying that narrowed focus methodology tends to backfire, when considering the rich potential inherent in photo and video and audios. To limit an assignment to something trivial is to do it complete injustice, and ultimately leaves us with disinterested students producing disinteresting products. Then again, you can't just assign a feature-length film to a group of sleep-deprived children. Just ain't right. But Mr. Mark Warble found a sweet spot. With students ranging in skill and interest, he manages to promote a fun, engaging atmosphere by granting that creative freedom. Though in each of his creative media creation classes, his assignments do have a few necessary points, such as planning, rehashing their material, etc., but there's just enough leeway to go beyond what's required. For instance, freshman year, video editing turned into a horrible, terrible sketch creation situation. Sophomore year, studio production unearthed the horror that was my announcer voice, and I wanted to save my last Warble class for senior year, which turned out to be by far the most funky. Loaded up on prerequisite and requisite knowledge, coupled with a relatively fun class, Mr. Mark Warble granted the tools and opportunity to pursue some bigger projects. A 5-foot-long camera infographic, for instance, a one-shot music video spanning the length of the entire high school. It was fun. It didn't end there. So Mr. Mark Warble, as many of you who would have been gathered here today, goes above and beyond what it means to be a teacher. He points students to the resources to apply our skills. He teaches kids of those students interested in lighthearted and driven enough to the degree where they teach each other. And when it came to submitting, for me, certain supplemental materials to colleges, Mr. Mark Warble was there for me, advising. When it came to other, larger, outside projects, Mr. Mark Warble was there for me, supplying gear and advice to make the next Rube Goldberg or Samsung or one-shot video even better than it would have been otherwise. So Mr. Mark Warble, it has been a great pleasure to honor you as our esteemed educator, and I sure won't be the last. Granted, I might be the last one to do it in shorts, but that's besides the point.
Next student in our top 25 is Kendall Auendou. Kendall is a well-rounded student who should be commended on her leadership and ability to balance many things. Kendall not only participated in cross-country, track, and basketball throughout her career, but was a captain in all 3 sports and for multiple years in some of them. It should come as no surprise, since she is part of the top 25, that Kendall received academic All-Ohio the last 2 years. Her athletic accolades are many. She received first-team Federal League in both cross-country and track for a total of 6 years, and was a regional and state qualifier many times in both sports. These experiences of success, both as a team and individual, contributed to some of Kendall's most memorable high school memories and her item of importance. I know I have enjoyed watching her participate in these extracurriculars. Kendall has also been the president of her class for her entire high school career and a member of National Honor Society. She received the Outstanding Student Award for the Akron Scientific and Engineering Council, and the awards go on and on. Through this, she still finds time to volunteer at Akron Children's Hospital and as the treasurer of her church teen group. All of these time-consuming activities do not take away from the relationships she has with friends and family and the time she enjoys spending with them. Kendall has narrowed down her college search, but was undecided when this was written. She hopes to graduate from med school and become an emergency medicine or orthopedic doctor. Kendall is a very impressive young lady, who I'm sure will continue to be successful in everything she does in the future, much as she has throughout her high school career. Congratulations to you, Kendall.
Hi, Coach Taylor. When I was instructed to choose an educator to bring to this banquet, I had one teacher in mind. Mr. Saylor, or as I like to call him, Coach, has made a positive impact on my life that will be remembered for years to come. My first cross-country practice was the summer before freshman year. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous and shy because I didn't know the coaches or many of my other older teammates. Coach Taylor's welcoming personality allowed us to be ourselves and showed new sides of us that we didn't know we had. Every season I've been with him, he's brought out the best of every runner and pushed them beyond what we thought was possible. Because of him, I will now be a college athlete, which I never thought would happen. Along with running, he has been my teacher twice in class for physics. His passion for teaching and physics is is seen every day when he enters with a big smile and enthusiasm to start learning. Every school day I look forward to going to his class, a class that many others wouldn't think would be fun or interesting. Dropping eggs from the bleachers onto his head and riding across the gym on a hoverboard were not only enjoyable for us, but very entertaining for him. The amount I learned in such little time and the ability to use those lessons in real world experiences proves that he is an outstanding educator.
I had the distinct pleasure of spending time with our next top 25 student in our class advisory this year. I found him to be quiet, thoughtful, and kind. I think these qualities will serve him well in his future career as a doctor. Alan Robinette has been active in the GHS Key Club and has earned the honor of Academy of Scholars all 3 times in high school. When asked about his academic success, Alan says that he is motivated by the thought of one day becoming a doctor and his Catholic faith. His cross necklace is his item of importance because it represents what is most important to him in his life. Alan is an avid sports fan, and he cites the basketball team's playoff run last year as one of his favorite high school memories. We congratulate Alan on his success in his top 25 status and wish him the very best as he heads to either Walsh or Ohio State to major in pre-med. Good luck to you, Alan.
Hi, Miss Peplin. Wish I could have done this in person, but it's fine. So I had Miss Peplin for human biology when I was a sophomore. I was the only sophomore in there, and I was always a quiet kid. Honestly, I was taking the class as an easy A, but I never thought I would actually enjoy it. At the time, I wanted to go into engineering, and Miss Peplin knew that. But I ended up realizing after Miss Peplin's class that I had a large interest in the medical field. The way that she taught the class made me take a joy in the topics, and I thought she was very good at explaining the information, and she obviously enjoyed teaching. I wanted to go deeper into the subject, so I started looking into becoming a doctor. Without Miss Peplin, I would have never realized what I wanted to do. Thanks to Miss Peplin, I'm now going to study pre-med in college, and I'm so grateful for her. Thank you.
A basketball is the item of importance for our next honoree. He says, a basketball has been in my hand since I was 2 years old. Not only is it the game that has brought me the most joy, but it's the thing that has come the easiest to me. Basketball has not only brought me joy, but it has both strengthened previous relationships and brought me new ones. A basketball taught me how far dedication and hard work can take me. Given his success on the court over the past 4 years of high school, it's hard to argue that point. He's a 4-year basketball letter winner, multiple Federal League Award winner, an all-district honorable mention, and a WAKR Student Athlete of the Week. He, of course, is our Garrison Keeslar. Garrison's involvement in the many aspects of school and community are numerous. He's an active member of River Tree Christian Church, where he volunteers regularly. He's an active member of the Key Club, Fellowship of Christian Students, Student Council, a graduate of the ComDoc Leaders of Tomorrow program, and is a member of the National Honor Society. In addition, he was honored as one of the February Seniors of the Month at Green High School. He attributes his success in school to the good teachers he's had and the challenges to him to excel in everything that he does. He knows that hard work is going to pay off for him over the coming years. He cites his favorite high school experience as the playoff run from his junior year, in which the basketball team won the first district title in school history and made it all the way to the regional final game. He says all the support we received from the community made it even more special. Garrison's hard work, both in school and on the court, has paid off for him already, as he will attend Walsh University and play basketball while studying mathematics. It's been my honor to work with Garrison for the last 4 years, and I'm very proud to introduce him tonight as a member of the Green High School Top 25.
Many of my fellow Top 25 members chose an educator that has impacted them from a classroom standpoint. My educator is a teacher, but has impacted me the most from being my basketball coach. Coach Kinsley has truly influenced my life in more ways than he will ever know, but the 3 most important things that he has taught me is paying attention to detail, the importance of hard work, and the idea of unselfishness. Coach Kinsley displayed these 3 things every day at our practices and at our games. Throughout my 4 years here, I could see our team, and especially myself, develop in these areas by his actions. I know that this has been a key reason to our success as a team,
but I also know that these valuable lessons will help me continue to be successful for the rest of my life. For this reason, I am thankful to have had the opportunity of having Coach Kinsley as a mentor that has taught me significant life lessons. Thank you, Coach, for all the things that you have done for me.
Our next honoree has been involved in Marching Band, Key Club, Developing Leaders of Tomorrow, Girls of Green, Bulldog Ambassadors, the Fellowship of Christian Students, and the National Honor Society. She has made the Academy of Scholars all 4 years of high school and lettered in academics during her freshman year. Outside of school, this gifted young woman attends church at the chapel, has volunteered at the Bridgestone Golf Championship, babysits, and works as a server at Bob Evans. She also enjoys spending time with friends and family and listening to music. Baking and traveling are also other ways she spends free time. After high school, this honoree will be attending Kent State University with a possible major in architecture. Her future goals are to graduate college and have a job that gives her the opportunity to be successful and happy. Her item of importance is some sand from Siesta Key Beach. She has been to Siesta Key with her family several times and was able to spend valuable time with her great-grandparents while visiting. This sand reminds our honoree of strong family bonds. It also reminds her of breathtaking sunsets and God's beautiful creations. Congratulations and good luck to Isabel Prainer.
Hi, my name is Isabel Prainer, and I chose Mr. Smith as my honored educator. I made this decision for a number of reasons. First off is because he's a huge reason for why I'm here in the top 25 of my class. Mr. Smith's door has been open since the first time I met him in 8th grade. Any question I had throughout high school could be taken to him. I remember when I first looked into college classes my sophomore year. I had so many questions that I was in his office multiple times a week up until the last day of school. He never seemed annoyed and always made time to sit down and work through whatever problem I had. Another huge way Mr. Smith has impacted my life is his guidance based on Christian values. A vivid memory I will have of Mr. Smith is that every time I walked into his office, I would hear inspirational music playing in the background. He has been so supportive of anything I have looked into for college and life. When I first told him I was interested in architecture, he was very encouraging, gave me names of people in the profession, and continues to help me through everything. So far, 2 of the most stressful times of my life have been beginning high school and planning to start my college career and future. I feel blessed that Mr. Smith was the person that helped me through both of these experiences. Other than my family, Mr. Smith has been the one constant through high school. No matter the changing teachers, friends, or schedules, he is always there. Thank you for all you have done for me, Mr. Smith.
This year, the University of Akron seems to hit the top of the list for capturing our best and brightest talent. Mason Doerrer plans on attending the University of Akron in biomedical studies, after which he intends to go to medical school, and after that, find ways to give back. In fact, Mason has made quite the habit of giving back so far. He has been a peer tutor for 2 years. He's participated in Christmas caroling for seniors. He has volunteered at the Brooke McMahon Memorial Swim Meet for 4 years and volunteered for Blessings in a Backpack for 8 years. That's a great start at giving back. If you didn't know all about his volunteer work and being a member of NHS for 2 years, you would think that Mason was all about swimming, and you'd be mostly right. Hold your breath. Here we go. It's probably most important to start with Mason earning the 2018-2019 Bulldog Character Award for the swim and dive team. In 4 years on the GHS swim team and 2 years as team captain, Mason became a 3-time letter winner, 4-time district qualifier, 3-time state qualifier, 3-time All-Ohio Award in 2017 and 2018, in First Federal League boys swimming and diving. In addition to all that, it's paintball, travel, and playing cards. In fact, his favorite high school memory is him and his friends playing cards with Deputy Hart in the senior commons. It was a fun time to relax during the day. And finally, Mason, you are welcome. That's because Mason attributed his success to having exceptional teachers. So, having had you in class twice, on behalf of all of us exceptional teachers, thank you. And by the way, He also said that he works hard in and out of class, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. Mason Doerrer, congratulations on earning your place in the Green High School class of 2020 Top 25.
It is my honor to nominate Mr. Laser as my outstanding educator and coach. Mr. Laser has had an amazing impact on my life, not just as my teacher, but also as my prayer group leader of 2 years and my swim coach. He's had a lofty impact on my swimming endeavors as well as my character. Mr. Laser sets a high standard for himself in how he treats others and interacts on a daily basis. His character is outstanding, and all his kids know just how much he cares about them, whether it's in the classroom or on the pool deck. He is never too busy to take time to encourage those around him, and his enthusiasm is infectious. "You've got this" can be heard on the pool deck or go as Coach jumps up and down. In the pool, he is everywhere wearing his red sweatpants during our hardest practices. In the classroom, he isn't jumping up or down, but encourages by creating a fun, interesting environment. Mr. Laser uses songs and skits to help us remember historical events. Greek Olympics and the Time Machine are 2 examples of these. What really sets him apart in the classroom is his genuine care for every student and what he can do to help make their life a little easier. I always enjoyed how he took time to read the examples of people who work towards their goals in their lives and face challenges. Sometimes we all need to be reminded how blessed we are and encouraged not to give up. Coach Laser not only read these examples to us in 7th grade, but taught them to us in high school, as we watched him selflessly give to the swim team, the students he taught, and his mother. I know I am a better person, student, and swimmer because of Mr. Laser, and it has truly been my honor to nominate him as having such a large impact on my life.
I have the honor of lauding Kayden Fricke, she of the indomitable smile and laugh, and I couldn't be happier. Kayden has chosen as her item of importance a conch shell. Kayden likes to travel and spend time with her family, including her brother Connor, and the conch shell reminds her of these times. As she says, this conch shell is a reminder of the beautiful places of the world that I have been to and those I have not yet discovered. Kayden says that one of the most beautiful places she has traveled to is Turks and Caicos, but I bet her second choice might be the hallowed halls of Green High School. While there, Kayden was a member of the volleyball team, choir, student council, and the National Honor Society. She also excelled academically and attributes some of that success to her parents and teachers who motivated her to succeed. But Kayden also understands the importance of giving back to the community, as demonstrated by her involvement in Safety City and her volunteer work with Summa Health. She truly is a well-rounded young woman. As for the future and what it might hold, where will that conch shell go? Well, Kayden will certainly miss Friday night football games and the opportunity to spend time with her friends, but there may be a neuroscience degree from The Ohio State University down the line, possibly an investment stake in raising canes, who knows? But we all know that her determination and integrity will create a bright and successful future. Kayden, congratulations.
Miss Cameron is one of the teachers who has had the greatest impact on my high school career. Being assigned to her biology class freshman year would end up creating a lasting friendship between not only my classmates and I, but also between Miss Cameron and I. Year after year, I spent any free periods I had walking upstairs to see her. She was always happy to see me despite whatever was going on in her own life. She and I could sit there and talk about anything and everything until the bell rang 45 minutes later. She helped me through the ups and downs of my dating life, and I gave her what advice I could on her dating life with my little experience. She listened to me whine about other classes I was taking and never once told me, "Shut up." Miss Cameron has been there to help me through both school problems and life problems and has become way more than just a teacher. She has become a best friend and even the older sister I never had. I will miss seeing her face light up every time I unexpectedly show up. I will miss having someone to always talk to, support me, and give the best advice no matter the situation. Thank you, Miss Cameron, for having a special impact on my 4 years here and being someone I will never forget.
Next student is a very intelligent young man, which is saying a lot when all of these students are part of the top 25. I am speaking of Alex Pond. Alex is planning to attend The Ohio State University and major in either engineering or accounting. His eventual goal is to go to med school and become an orthopedic surgeon. I've gotten to know Alex a little bit this year. He's a pretty funny guy. I'm not just referring to his funny dance moves when he's performing with the guys' cheer or dance team. Luckily, he knew a dance team member pretty well that could pull him along. But as everything Alex does, he put his full effort and enjoyment of life into it. I would say the reason I've gotten to know Alex so well is because he's in my advisory group that met monthly this year. However, Alex went out of his way to point out to me that he was placed in my advisory to only not show up at all once this year. I'm starting to wonder if Alex just doesn't like me or can't attend because he's involved in so many things. It seems like he's on the staff announcements for just about every field trip possible. Alex participated in mock trial and has received the award for outstanding attorney in back-to-back years. He cleans up pretty nice when he puts on the suit. Alex also participated in Key Club and has been a member of the baseball and golf teams. Playing these sports, as well as attending the football and basketball games, have given Alex some of his most memorable moments of his career. Alex's item of importance is a baseball. Alex explains that beyond the obvious of how baseball is important to his life, it has taught him many valuable life lessons. Alex has accumulated many awards and recognitions throughout his career, including the Seal of Biliteracy, the Academic Wall of Fame, and the highest merit scholarship from OSU. Alex attests his motivation and success to his outstanding teachers, competitive classmates, and supportive family who he speaks very highly of. Congratulations, Alex.
Hello, everybody. To start, I would like to thank a few people and give them credit for why I'm talking here today. To start, I'd like to thank my family, especially my two parents and my sisters. And then obviously I'd like to give credit to all of my teachers. You guys have been so great and have allowed me to have such a great academic career. And then finally, I would like to thank my honored educator, Dave Schaub, who happens to also be my hitting coach. And I decided to title this speech, Hitting Instructor to Mentor. Almost 9 years ago, on November 9th, 2011, I started taking hitting lessons from Dave Schaub. At the time, I was unaware of the impact that Dave would have on my baseball career and my life. From the moment I met Dave, I knew he was a caring and fun guy to be around. Dave became as much as a friend to me as he was my hitting coach. I looked forward to hitting with him every week. I always had stories from the school day to share with him, and he always listened and showed interest in them. Aside from being someone I could talk to whenever, Dave taught me about the importance of hard work and what it takes to make it to the highest level in baseball. Dave was even generous enough to invite me to Kansas City, where he coached professional baseball players. I got to spend time in the locker room and as the bat boy, learning about the ways of professional baseball players. Throughout the 9 years of hitting lessons and the trip to Kansas City, I've learned countless things about baseball from Dave. However, the main reason I invited Dave here tonight, well, virtually, is not because of what he has taught me about baseball, but because of what he has taught me about myself. Dave taught me how to harness my perfectionistic personality for self-improvement. Through my hitting lessons and spending time with Dave, I learned to not get frustrated from my mistakes, which I used to do often, but rather move on and learn from them. I will forever remember and be grateful for the lessons I have learned from my mentor, as they have ultimately helped me reach the position I am in today. Thank you, Dave.
Our next inductee chose soccer cleats as his item of significance, citing that soccer has played an important role in his high school experience. Of it, he says, "I started playing when I was 5 years old. The cleat represents my journey through soccer and the lessons it has taught me about character, hard work, and perseverance." He's a 2-year letter winner in soccer, was all Federal League second team and honorable mention, as well as defensive MVP for the Green High School soccer team. In addition, he's been a member of the Key Club, French Club, Academic Challenge Team, Vice President of the Science Club, and is a member of the National Honor Society. He is a 2-time participant in the Goodyear Rube Goldberg Engineering Challenge Team, twice a champion and once a runner-up, an award winner in the Soapbox Derby High School Design Contest, a state champion in the Samsung Solve for Tomorrow STEM contest, and has won an award for the Akron Council of Engineering and Scientific Societies. This extremely busy and competitive young man is Nathan Appleby. Nate says his most memorable high school experience was his overall participation in the science club. He had unforgettable times with his closest friends, and together they were able to excel in numerous contests and projects. Nate's soccer lessons and hard work and perseverance have certainly paid off. He likes to challenge himself to maximize his own learning and attributes his success to being very organized and detail-oriented. He plans to head to Columbus next year to study architecture at The Ohio State University and plans to spend his career working in a large city in that field. I'm very proud to present to you tonight Mr. Nathan Appleby.
For the entirety of my high school soccer career, I was always pretty reserved and kept to myself most of the time. And with that being said, I had a limited amount of personal interactions with Coach Nelson. So, while I've never vocally expressed my appreciation, I can say that he's had a significant impact on my life. Going into my junior season, I was an upcoming varsity player that Nelson saw a lot of potential in. Meeting these initial expectations pushed me to expand my game and reach a higher level of competition. During the process, I was continually inspired by his values and ambition. He has an overall winning attitude that I hope to embody one day, and he comes to practice every day with a certain passion that is simply contagious. While I've never been one for showcasing my emotions, Coach Nelson always managed to fuel my competitive fire, and he's not only allowed me to exceed my potential on the soccer field, but has ultimately taught me the importance of discipline and dedication outside of sports.
Our next top 25 student is Miss Brittany Dietrich. Brittany has spent her time in high school cheerleading, both sideline and competitive. She enjoys kayaking and hiking and the beach. Homecoming tops out as her favorite high school memory. Brittany plans to attend Kent State University in the fall with the dreams of becoming an educator. Congratulations, Brittany.
From the first day that I met Mr. Flynn, I could see why people loved him. Mr. Flynn and his students welcomed me into their classroom with open arms and made me part of their family. While writing this, I was speechless. I could not find the words to describe the effect Mr. Flynn had on me. Throughout the semester, Mr. Flynn taught me many life lessons and gave me many dad talks. He taught me how to live outside of my comfort zone and to always follow my heart. Mr. Flynn has so much wisdom that I just wanted to see his view on life. He would listen to any story I had to offer and give me advice, even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Mr. Flynn, thank you for everything. You have the biggest heart, and I truly hope you know the effect you had on me. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Eric Roeder. When I read the biographical information provided by Eric, I was first and foremost struck by the similarities that my high school life has with Eric's high school life. To begin, we were both altar boys and spent many hours of our formative years at church. That's about it. Eric is an intelligent, athletic, and musically talented young man of character and a member of the Green High School National Honor Society. He has been heavily involved in swim his whole life and is a member of the GHS swim and dive team as well as the YMCA Barracudas swim team. He's also a talented percussionist who has been a part of the marching band and numerous other bands and ensembles. To illustrate his love for music and creativity, Eric has chosen a pair of drumsticks as his item of importance. These are, and I quote, his go-to drumsticks. In his spare time, Eric has interned with the National Inventors Hall of Fame and is a student municipal rep for the city of Greene. Interestingly, Eric's most memorable high school event involved an early morning fire, a cold parking lot, and one of his favorite activities, swimming. Eric's future involves a degree in mechanical engineering and a part in a college drumline. And if you want to hear the whole swimming parking lot fire story mentioned above, or check up on a future Eric to see how things are going, I suggest you stop by St. Nicholas Orthodox Church during their annual parish festival. There will be good people, a good story, and some good food awaiting you. I suggest you try the latkes.
Over the past 4 years of my life, I've had many teachers that have made a positive impact on my academics. However, the one that has stood out the most in my high school career has been Mr. Owen. He is one of the most well-respected and kind-hearted men I have ever met. I chose Mr. Owen as my honored educator because of my love for his classes, honors, and AP chemistry. which I took last year, and also for his love of Paul McCartney. He has even inspired me to pursue a degree of chemical engineering in college. Before his class, I had never thought of chemistry as an option, but he really changed everything for me. So I'd like to thank Mr. Owen for everything you have done for me and many other students that you have taught at Green High School. And I can only hope that you can make an impact on their lives as you did mine.
Our next enshrinee to the Green High School Top 25 is truly a jack of all trades. As a student, he's been a 3-time Academy of Scholar recipient, a 3-time Rube Goldberg competition participant, a member of the Student Council, and a member of the National Honor Society. As an athlete, he's been a member of the track team, cross-country team, tennis team, a swimmer, and played basketball as a freshman. He participates in the science, key, and chess clubs. Outside of school, he volunteers for Live at 5 and participates in the St. Nicola Macedonian Church dance group. When he isn't tied up with school or one of these many activities, he enjoys working out, watching funny videos, and hanging out with his friends. This very busy individual is none other than our very own Vasilios Konstantakos. Fittingly, since education is important to him, Vasily chose the calculator as his item of importance. He says that he attributes his success in school to his own desire to be smarter, and that he puts everything into his learning. Vasily plans to head either to the University of Akron or Ohio State next year to start studying engineering, either mechanical, electrical, or aerospace. He plans to use his engineering education to develop technologies to make the world a better place. I'm very proud to introduce to you Mr. Vasilios Konstantakos.
Honor educators leave an impression on your academic career, but role models leave an impact on your life. From all of my interactions with Mr. Christopher, he has been a compassionate person, an outgoing individual, and an educator who teaches great life values. In order to lead a successful life, one must ask questions and seek greater knowledge. It doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how much you learn. Most importantly, be an honest person with yourself and others. You only get one chance at life, so make it a good one. Thank you, Mr. Christopher.
Our next student in the top 25 is Ethan Sir Lewis. Ethan is so well-rounded and involved in so many things at GHS, it's going to be hard to put in a speech this size. If you have never met Ethan, you have probably heard him. He is loud. He is the one that blared his trumpet solo at the halftime of the football games and drove Mr. Brianthal crazy on the bench of the basketball games by shouting in his megaphone. With his enthusiasm, he didn't need a megaphone. But Ethan was the student section spirit leader and was good at it. Ethan also is very well liked. Not only can he put a smile on just about anyone's face, but he was also voted homecoming king by his peers. Ethan has participated in marching band, where he's been a squad and section leader for multiple years. He has also been the lead trumpet player in jazz band. He has participated in the pep band, pit orchestra, been the president and historian of the science club, been the historian and president of Key Club, track and field, been the vice president of Spanish Club, mock trial, where he was the honorable witness for the district and regional competition, National Honor Society, and the treasurer for Student Council. I have no idea how, but he's also found time to volunteer for Blessings in a Backpack and Feed My Starving Children. While participating in all of these things, he has managed to be recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction, received the Spanish Seal of Biliteracy, was awarded the Band Pride Award, and I could go on and on with the awards. Ethan hopes to graduate med school and become a cardiothoracic surgeon. Now he just has to figure out whether he's going to Ohio State or Michigan. I didn't even know you could consider both of those schools at the same time. Ethan was wearing a Michigan shirt one day, but told me he was going to Ohio State. Ethan is put together, but is clearly confused when it comes to this decision. Congratulations, Ethan, on being in the top 25.
Hello friends and honored educators. My name is Ethan Sir Lewis, and I'm going to tell a little bit about my time with Mrs. Rock in high school. Over these past 4 years, I've learned and grown a lot. To be honest, the person who helped me the most was Mrs. Rock. If you don't know Mrs. Rock, she's been my band director since the 7th grade. If anyone has seen me change and grow as a person, it's definitely her. A lot of you know me as a loud and outspoken individual. Mrs. Rock was the person who helped me evolve. She has fostered my growth by providing me with an environment where I could feel comfortable. She challenged me and helped me push my limits. Freshman year, Ethan Sir Lewis was a very different person. He was very shy and quiet. Being able to walk into the band room, a place I was already familiar with, and feel welcome gave me comfort in a place where I definitely was not. The confidence I earned by practicing and performing the trumpet translated over to my social life. I suppose being a member of the Fun Chat helped as well. I met the true Mrs. Rock during my sophomore year of high school. I joined the pit orchestra for the Beauty and the Beast musical. Miss Rock directed this pit and helped us get show ready. Occasionally, she would play with us on the French horn. While acting as a member of the ensemble, rather than the director, her entire persona changed. Instead of maintaining order and keeping us in check, she acted as one of us, talking and cracking jokes the entire rehearsal. I was completely surprised. But this is when I really got to know my favorite teacher. From this experience, I learned that I could talk to Mrs. Rock. She made it clear that she could be more than a teacher to me. She was a friend as well. Through it all, Mrs. Rock has been my #1 supporter. She's always been there to cheer me up when I'm down and encourages me to do better. Earlier this year, I performed a Class A solo for competition. I had worked on the solo for a little over 8 months. Basically, I had the solo down pat, playing well during the week leading up to the performance. Things went wrong when I felt that I bombed the solo during my performance. After one of the worst run-throughs of my life, I stormed out of the room, obviously disappointed. Miss Rock caught up to me and spoke her words of wisdom. She effectively calmed me down and helped me realize that mistakes do happen, even to the best of musicians. After we got the results, she congratulated me on my top score. I really appreciated this act. Even when my family told me everything was okay, Miss Rock's encouragement was worth significantly more. Teachers like Miss Rock are truly special. Having her teach me to be the best I can be in music and in life is a blessing that I cannot begin to fathom. I'm indefinitely thankful for all the awesome experiences I have had with her over the years. Even though her jokes haven't gotten any better, there was never any doubt in my mind that she would be my honored educator. Thank you.
Seniors, I just want to congratulate each of you for being members of the top 25. This has been a very odd school year to say the least, but your accomplishments speak louder than anything else that we've gone through. It's been my pleasure to be your assistant principal these last 4 years, and I wish all of you the very best as you go forward to college and your careers. And remember, you'll always be a Bulldog.